Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank. Coming up tonight, state finals matchups are set in boys basketball. In the Coach's Corner, we chat with the man whose university Trailblazers are a win away from a first state championship. Plus, our Athlete of the Week was just named Indiana's Miss Basketball.
I think it was just kind of a little bit of a relief. It's something that I've dreamt about since I was a little girl.
It's time to get fired up for the Zone Extra right now.
Good evening and welcome to the Zone Extra. I'm Andrew Chernoff. What a great week of high school sports, and we've got another big week ahead because the boys basketball state championship matchups are now set. In the Coach's Corner, his program is seeking its first ever state championship. University boys basketball head coach Justin Blanding joins the show. Plus, our Athlete of the Week is the 2025 Indiana Miss Basketball. We connect with Hamilton Southeastern senior Maya Makalusky. And in our on-campus segment, we catch up with former Pike basketball standout and current Xavier Musketeer Ryan Conwell. Now let's take a look at this week in high school sports. Saturday, state finals berths were on the line in boys hoops, and 4A defending state champ Fishers took on Crown Point. Late first quarter, Fishers' Justin Kirby lays it in off the glass. We were tied after the first. Jump ahead then, third quarter. Tigers out front. Jason Gardner Jr. kicks to Cooper Zachary. Buries the three. Tigers up 14. Fourth quarter we go. Fishers cruising here. Gardner to John Anthony Hall. Tigers roll 73-48 and will defend their state championship on Saturday night.
If you're going to play, your goal is to win it all. Your goal is to win a state championship, and obviously it starts with Sectional 8, and it's very competitive, and you have to do that. But our goal is to win. Our goal is to win state championships. When we took the job here, we said that from the beginning, and to be quite honest, people laughed at that because Fishers had never won a sectional. They'd won one conference championship in school history. And people, when you say that at a place that hasn't won, people think you're arrogant and they laugh at you. But that was our goal from the beginning, and I knew these guys in this class, and I truly believe we would do it.
There's no pressure on us. I mean, we've played in so many high energy environments and stuff like that. Like, if you would have seen me my sophomore year, like, my hands would have been shaking. I would have been, man, like, this would have been, a crazy experience for me. But now it's just like, I just like live for these moments. It's so fun to play in.
So who will the Tigers face on Saturday? The other 4A semi-state title game featured Lawrence North and Jeffersonville. First quarter, Red Devils leading when Lawrence North's Xavier Robinson hits down to 3, Lawrence North down 2. Later in the first, Jeffersonville with it. Sean Boyd from deep. Red Devils up 9. Second quarter we go. Lawrence North's Robinson again to the basket. But Jeffersonville was too much last weekend. End of the first half, PJ Douglas hits the corner triple. Red Devils go on to win it 56-49. In 3A at Southport, it was Crispus Attucks facing off against New Pal. Second quarter, Dragons swing it to the corner. Will Davison from downtown, New Pal within 1. Fast forward third quarter, Attucks' Desmond Briscoe finds Chris Hurt, who lays it in. Tigers up by 8. Fourth quarter now, Ajalon Jones showing off the skills to the basket. Attucks up big. The Tigers are off to state for the first time since 2017, 67-49, the final.
We're excited, man. It's a goal that we set out early during our June summer work that we wanted to, if we played the right way, did what we needed to do, we can make this run to the state. So just excited that we were able to, go on this run and play the right way.
It'll be something great to me. I ain't never won a state championship, so it'd be good on my resume and just good for me as a school.
It would mean a lot to me. We came here for a reason, make history, so we have a chance to do it. So it would really mean a lot.
Class 2A semi-state action from Lafayette. Clinton Prairie facing House. Second quarter off the miss. Gophers running. Jake McGraw throws it down. Clinton Prairie takes a 1-point lead. Gophers then down a point in the third. Ryan Harshbarger in the corner gives his team the lead. Fourth quarter counts. Turns it over. Alex Farley the lay-in. Gophers win it. 73-59 is the final, and they are on to state.
I think our guys are still riding pretty high on what they're able to accomplish so far, and the community's been great, and their support behind us has been outstanding. So, we're still relishing in the fact that we're here, but we're looking forward to a great week of preparation and for a great game on Saturday.
We've never been here, never been done in school history. I mean, when you're a kid, you look up to this. You just want to be here. When you're a kid, you watch the NBA games. You watch the Pacers because you're from Indiana, and just like, how cool would it be to play there? For us to get here, it's just like, wow. It's just, that's all I can explain it with. It's just, wow. It's crazy.
Meanwhile, it was another special honor for Greenfield Central senior Braylon Mullins. Last week, he was named the Gatorade Indiana Boys Basketball Player of the Year. Mullins led the state in scoring at nearly 33 points per game and also averaged over 7 boards per game this season. Of course, the UConn signee was also previously named a McDonald's All-American. Highlighting the rise of girls flag football. That was the theme of a special event last week inside Lucas Oil Stadium. The Indianapolis Colts unveiled a new display in the stadium which showcases the rise of girls flag football across Indiana. The display is part of the Colts Road to 100 initiative as the team hopes to launch and sustain 100 high school girls flag football teams this year. Currently, there are 51 schools committed to fielding teams. Next month, the IHSAA could vote to add girls flag football as an emerging sport.
This day means so much to us. I think back to the journey that began in 2023 with only 8 teams, which even then, that was exciting for us. To be able to say that we have reached over the halfway mark to our road to 100 is like kind of a pinch me moment for us. There's been so much work, so many conversations, so much commitment from our staff.
The theme here, 100 flags to 100 teams, is really so fitting. I love the display. I love the message that sends, and I think that's something that we can all carry with us as we continue to push and twist a few arms and challenge some people to be supporters of girls flag football in this state.
Time for a break, but we have much more ahead on the Zone Extra. Up next, it's the Coach's Corner. For the first time in program history, University Boys Hoops is on the state. Trailblazers head coach Justin Blanding joins us to talk about his team's historic season. And still ahead, she is this year's Indiana Miss Basketball. We'll introduce you to our Athlete of the Week from Hamilton Southeastern.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank. This is the Zone Extra Coach's Corner.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Time now for our Coach's Corner. His University Trailblazers are getting ready to play in their first ever state championship game. Let's welcome in University Boys Hoops head coach Justin Blanding. And Justin, thank you so much for joining us tonight. What's it been like at school since you guys punched your tickets to the state championship?
Yeah, it's been I'm not gonna lie, it's been kind of hectic, but in a good way. The support is really good. Our head of school, Alicia LaMagdalene, has been great. It's just really good vibes. It's been really good for our school.
You guys beat Park Heritage 53-47 in the semi-state championship game. What did you like from your team to get that job done this past weekend?
Yeah, I mean, just our grit. Park Heritage is a really, really good team. And so, we really had to lock in and focus on what we were doing. And so, all season, like I've said, to other people, but, we schedule hard teams so we can prepare. We knew we were definitely in for a dogfight with Park Heritage. They got, tremendous players on their team, well coached. So we were just, we're just fortunate to make plays.
You guys have now had 3 games that it feels like have come down to the end. Obviously a 6-point game, close game though still throughout. What are you seeing from your group at the end of these games to get it done?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes to our experience. Playing a lot of the bigger schools. We just want to make sure that we're competing. The year started off, a lot of people say, well, you started off, 2-6 or whatever like that, but we were competitive in every game. So we took that as a positive. And our kids never got rattled, never got shaken down or anything like that. And so, some of those games, we lost by, 4, 6. We're like, okay, we're right here. We just got to make plays and turn the corner. And that's what we've done so far.
No question you guys are doing that. So since we got you on the show, we want to get some of your players on the show as well tonight. Here's what they had to say about what's working for this group and also what to expect going forward.
We put each other first before we beat ourselves first. So I think staying together as a team and making sure that we're all holding each other accountable helps us win later on in the season.
I think we just have been really good at taking it one game at a time. We haven't looked at it from the start of the tournament like we got to win 7 or 8 games or whatever it is. Just take it one game at a time, prepare, and stay together and work hard.
Okay, Coach, that's Blake and Max right there. Just to hear that maturity level, how much does that make your job easier, them understanding how this thing operates?
Well, I think for Max, he's been with us and, he's a 2-year captain. And so, that leadership role he's been in, especially last year and in the transition year, he learned a lot. And so I think that, that's really helped him. For Blake, he had his big brother with him last year, Bryce, who's playing at Hanover right now. And so, big brother's been able to kind of teach him what to expect, what's going to happen and things like that. So I think those guys are a little bit ahead of their time leadership wise. And it's really helped our team. We have a team full of guys who are definitely for the team and unselfish and play to their roles and enjoy their roles. So it does make it a little easy.
I know you guys are getting ready to play at Gainbridge Fieldhouse this weekend. Justin, we're looking at video from practice this week. What are you telling this group about what to expect as they get ready to arguably play on the biggest stage in the state, the home of the Pacers and the Fever, Gainbridge Fieldhouse?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is, I've been able to, kind of tell them what it's been like, previously, with the girls, we've been fortunate enough to go to semi-state a few times. We haven't been able to win, but, kind of just the atmosphere, the pressure, the jitters and all that stuff. I've been kind of just, been able to tell them about that and what's going to happen. And so, they just kind of go into it, they don't listen to me. So, they've been able to just, just be who they are. And, they're never too high, never too low. So, they've just been able to, kind of just go out there and play. The Hatchet House, to a lot of people that could be really intimidating with, how big it is and the crowds and, things like that. But, our guys have just been, they just been focused in and just playing. So that's what I expect to them, when we get to Gainbridge.
Hatchet House, definitely one of the coolest facilities in the country. Let's be frank about that. Okay, Justin, so you guys getting ready. Here's the matchup, playing Manchester on Saturday afternoon. Of course, Manchester 25-2 on the year. What are you expecting to see from your opponent in this 2A title game?
Yeah, just highly competitive. They're well coached. They have really good players, and then they have a good supporting cast as well. I think the big man in the middle, Vet, I think he's the Indiana All-Star, just based on, seeing him play and how he moves and things like that. I think he's a really good player. And, I think, everybody around him, they know what they do. They know what they do well. So we know we're in for a dogfight. I'll just be honest with you. We know we're not going to stop him. So we just have to, try to make more plays.
And no question, University, the Trailblazers have been doing that so far in this postseason. Justin Blanding, the University boys basketball head coach. Justin, thanks for joining us and best of luck on Saturday.
All right, man, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anytime, anytime. Still ahead on the Zone Extra, it's time for our Athlete of the Week. She's Indiana's 2025 Miss Basketball. Coming up, we connect with Hamilton Southeastern senior Maya Makalusky. Plus, we go on campus in the NCAA tournament with former Pike standouts and current Xavier Musketeer, Ryan Conwell.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Last week, a Hamilton Southeastern senior received the state's highest individual honor in girls basketball. Maya Makalusky was named Indiana's Miss Basketball for 2025. Makalusky led the Royals to a 27-1 record this year, which included a regional title. Makalusky averaged 22 points, nearly 7 rebounds, and almost 2 steals per game. earlier this month, she also received the Indiana Gatorade Player of the Year award. Next season, she's going to head to Bloomington as a member of the IU Hoosiers. She says winning Miss Basketball is extremely special.
I think it was just kind of a little bit of a relief. It's something that I've dreamt about since I was a little girl. So to have that moment and realize that all the hard work paid off, I think it was just something that was super exciting. And then to see all my family and friends that came to support me really meant a lot.
Anytime anybody has a lot of success, you always have people that surround you. And she helped bring that group together to surround her. And I think that great chemistry that we had, I thought that was huge in terms of our success, which led to her getting some recognition as well.
It's so rewarding. I think it doesn't only show what I've done, but also like my teammates throughout, just getting me the ball and encouraging me on the hard games. And I think it really does take a village to get me to where I am today, especially the trainers in the training room, keeping me healthy, and just everybody here that supported me throughout my 4 years. It means a bunch.
The thing that I love about her and what she did is you got some people who say they want to do things, that they say they want to put in the work, but she did it. I mean, she was willing to sacrifice some things. I mean, some people aren't willing to sacrifice having some fun and doing some things. She was willing to sacrifice what she could because she wanted to improve her craft, and that's what she did.
I think I'm just excited for a new journey. I'm excited for a new challenge. I'm excited to earn my new role and to be pushed out of my comfort zone, and just, you know, to have a new change of scenery and something that I've been dreaming about since I was a little girl.
Congrats to Maya. Do not forget, Wish TV's got a brand new sports app. Get out your phones right now, scan that QR code on the screen, and download the completely free All Indiana Sports app. You can find more on this story, plus all things Central Indiana High School sports and much more. Get the All Indiana Sports app today. Time for a break, but still more to come here on the Zone Extra, including the latest installment of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Now it's time to go on campus where we catch up with a former Central Indiana high school athlete as he or she competes at the collegiate level. This week we head to the NCAA tournament with the Xavier Musketeers. Former Pike basketball standout and Indiana All-Star Ryan Conwell had a stellar year at Xavier after transferring to Xavier from Indiana State this past season. He was second on the team in scoring at 16.5 points per game. He also shot over 41% from downtown. Now, Xavier won its first 4-game last week over Texas before falling to Illinois in the first round of the Big Dance. Despite the season coming to an end, Conwell says he's thankful for how much he's grown over the past year as a Musketeer.
I would just say, you know, just my first year at Xavier is just all a blessing. You know, just the opportunity that was given to me, and, you know, just the competition that I got to play against every given night, and, you know, just to play with a great group of guys for a great coaching staff. It was just all a blessing, and I enjoyed it. You know, I feel like I grew a lot, you know, as a basketball player, but also just as a young man, and, you know, I'm just excited, you know, just for what's to come.
Now it's time for Ask the Commissioner. Each week we take one of your questions to IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and bring you his answer. So here's this week's question. As we officially move into spring, what is your favorite part of the season?
Well, it's just the change in the weather. It's, you know, we've been indoors. It's been a long time throughout the winter that, you know, it gets dark early and the temperature is cold, and you know, we've been inside all winter long, and all of a sudden the weather starts to change, and it stays daylight a little longer, gives students an opportunity to get outside. And it's just one of those things that as the seasons change, we look forward to that. Plus, for me, I'm tired of being cold. It's time to warm up and enjoy the weather outside.
I don't think I could agree with Paul anymore. Tired of being cold. Let's get spring here right now. That's going to do it for us tonight on the Zone Extra. Thank you so much for watching. As always, scan the QR code on your screen to download the All Indiana Sports app for the best high school sports coverage across Central Indiana. Stay tuned for a new episode of the Zone Extra coming up next Thursday night. Enjoy a great Saturday filled of IHSAA Boys Basketball State Championships.